Rachel Reeves here on a Friday afternoon in Harlow. You're here to support the jobs guarantee. What can you do now in December and maybe next year for the Harlow people?
Well, there are 330 people in Harlow who would benefit from Labour's jobs guarantee, and I've met one of them this afternoon, Anthony, who is out of work and desperately like a job. A job would transform his life. Would also ensure that we're paying less out in benefits, actually getting something in taxes as well. The way the jobs guarantee works is that every young person who's been out of work for a year would be guaranteed a job, working with businesses to provide those opportunities. And if you're older than 25, you'll be guaranteed a job after 2 years. Nationally, more than 150,000 people would benefit from this scheme. That's 150,000 lives transformed.
When it comes to the economy, because the man who sits behind George Osborne, called Robert Halfon, is a local MB, and he tells me it was a great autumn statement. And to the man in the street, the man here, what's your explanation and assessment of that statement?
Well, what we saw in the autumn statement is all the promises that David Cameron and George Osborne made in 2010, they've failed to deliver. The deficit this year is £90 billion. The government have borrowed more in this Parliament than Labour borrowed during 13 years in office. And we also know that the average worker here in Harlow and across the country is £1,600 worse off than when David Cameron became Prime Minister, because the reality is, for 52 of the last 53 months, prices have risen at a faster rate than wages, and that's put huge pressure on families and pensioners and people here in Harlow and across the country, because more and more people are struggling with the cost of living crisis, finding that gas and electricity bills are going up whilst wages just aren't keeping pace. People just don't want another 5 years of this, and that's why Susie's out campaigning to freeze gas and electricity prices, to cancel the bedroom tax, to have an increase in the minimum wage. All policies, I'm afraid, that Robert Halfon and the Tories have opposed.
And finally, sorry to be a bit gloomy coming up to Christmas, are we still in real bother?
The economy is still struggling, and a lot of people, when they hear David Cameron and George Osborne saying that their plan has worked, will feel, well, actually, for me and my family, things are getting harder, not easier. We're still struggling in low-paid jobs or in zero-hour contracts, and we're worried about our children and the next generation having the opportunities that we've had, whether that's to buy a home, to have a secure job, to be able to save for a pension, start a family. So there are very real worries still in the economy, and of course in the autumn statement yesterday what we found in the small print is that the cuts that Cameron and Osborne planned in the next Parliament are even greater than what we've seen in this Parliament, and that's because in the last 5 years their plan has failed. They haven't secured the economic recovery that we need with those good quality jobs in all parts of the country.
Rachel Reeves, thank you very much.